Next, we're going to ask each veteran up here on stage if you are able to stand and be recognized when you hear your name called. If not, you can give us a wave, and that would be fine as well. We decided to keep our veterans up here on stage in this place of prominence so that we could honor them. So let's take a moment to do that. Audience, if you could please hold your applause until the end. I will read the veteran name and the JA connection that goes along with it. So if you are the JA connection, you may stand when you hear your veteran announced. So first we'll begin with Larry Preston, whose JA connection is Megan Balland. And next, Tony Nardone, Kate Balland. Earl Graff, Grace Keffer. And next, these were the ones that we knew the branches for, so we're going to begin with the Air Force. Robert Eagley, the JA connection is Hannah Fields. Terry Erdel, Holly Comstock is the JA connection. Ronald Ireland and the JA connection, Bronson and Mackie Nobes. Dennis Morgan, Connor and Liam Albanese. Joe Orvetti, Rufus Spray. Charles Ritzker, Jackson Ritzker. Victor Wahlberg, who I believe is in the back in our color guard, Morgan and Megan Thurley. And next, from the Army, we have Earl Breeze and Robert Breeze with Robert Sedes. Roger Comstock and Rachel Comstock. Anthony DiTucci, Olivia Vassallo. Robert Fitzmaurice and Ian Camp. Sorry about that. And Ray Gibb, Amanda Von Holton. Richard Hilliard, Jimmy Alberts. Mr. Jane, represented with Colin McKee. Walter Johnson, Jake Johnson. Feel free to stand and give your veteran a wave. John Kirsitz Jr., Adeline Phillips. Frank Labate, Brianne Berg. Anthony Orlando, Colin Powers. Bill Perks, Grace Gillespie. Bill Rednicki, Mary Kate and Eliana Rednicki. Bernie Sampson, Stephen Sampson. Tony Savoca, Ella and Ava Savoca. Doug Seward, Michaela Keys. Tom Shannon, Zachary Shannon. John Siriano, who also was in the Navy, Margaret Siriano. Angelo Sorbello, Francesca Sorbello. Wyatt Tevels, who also was in the Air Force, Lenore Shields. Michael Van Putty, Jackson Newcomb. And now on to the Marines. Brian Blith, who also was in the Army, Dylan Blith. Mark A. DeChick, Marina and Elena DeChick. David Deinhardt, Gavin Lind. Cliff Gallis, Brady Miller. Kurt Hine, Max and Luke Toscano. Robert Krosick, Caroline Reed. Kevin Saunders, Ian and Isaiah Saunders Brebner. Timothy Schouts, Owen Murphy. Jerry Wees, Max and Luke Toscano. And then on to the Navy. Louis Barbaglia, Madison Davis. Jim Cleveland, Carter and Brenna Lankto. Paul Derleth, Thomas Derleth. Lance Hine, Max and Luke Toscano. John Masco, Miss Masco. John Piedmont, Jack Derleth. John Peter Riley, Brendan Riley. Robert Smallcombe, Cody Billia. Phil Thurley, who's also in our honor guard, Morgan and Megan Thurley. Tom Van Stridonk, Anna Sullivan. And we have a few others that were add-ons that we want to make sure we recognize. Ray Anderson from the Navy with Hannah Johansson. Bill Hinchcliffe from the Navy with Jack Hinchcliffe. John Farrell in the Army with John Farrell III as the JA connection. And Mr. Stewart from the Army with Tyler Cady as the JA connection. We also have our VFW Post 8495 color guard that you witnessed this morning, and the members of that have been so gracious to help us on such a busy time for them with many ceremonies they've been doing. First of all, Patrick Camilleri, the commander of the guard. Joel Durham, one of the flags. Randy Clark, escort. Phil Fairley, escort. Vic Walberg, the other flag. And Dick Cronkite, the bugler that you will hear later. Just to be certain, because I know some veterans came after the fact that we had all of the information, is there anyone that I neglected to mention on stage? Oh, great. Awesome. Okay. So next up, you may or may not have heard, it is the Year of the Pen at JA this year. This means that we are promoting writing in a big, big way. Next, we will have one student winner from each classroom, grades 2 through 5, come up and share either a letter, poem, poster, or interview that they wrote for our veterans. We will begin with the first speaker at grade 2. So if I could have, from my class, Kate Casson come on up.
Dear veterans, thank you for serving to give us freedom to believe in what we want to believe in. Thank you for letting us go to school and learn. I love to be able to go to school. It is wonderful to be able to have fresh food and water. I also love to be able to have warm houses, especially on winter days. Also being able to sleep in warm, cozy beds every night. Also, I like to be free to be able to make our own choices and healthy livings. I like to have no ruler. I like to be able to have fun and play. Thank you for all these great things you have done for us. I have a free life because you fought for a free life for me and many others. You sacrificed yourself for our and your freedom. Thank you for doing all these great and dangerous things for us. I thank you all for doing these things for you and everyone else. Sincerely, Kate.
Way to start us off, Kate. And next up from Mrs. Lippa's class, Braden Paoni.
Dear veterans, thank you for serving in the war. I feel bad for you because you had to go so far away from your families. Every day I thank you. My uncle and my papa both served in the army. I also thank you for helping people after hurricanes and in bad weather. I am very sad for those who have died, but I am glad that all of you can be here right now. Sincerely, Braden.
Very nice. And next up from Mrs. McCadden's class, Michaela Keys.
Dear Grandpa, thank you for serving our country. It is an honor for you to be here today. Being a veteran is important because you help other people in different countries. And veterans help make America what it is today. Every day in school we say the Pledge of Allegiance. When I look up at the flag, I think of freedoms I have in America. These freedoms are here because of you and the brave people who were in the military. I appreciate all your service for our country. Love, Michaela.
And next up from Mrs. Rich's class, Francesca Stanberry Beal.
Dear veterans, thank you for helping our country be free. I welcome you to our community. I'm glad that you could come to our school today. I honor you in my heart, even though I don't know you. I still honor you. Love, Francesca.
And now on to third grade. And first up from Mrs. Billow's class, Hayden Ryder.
Dear veterans, thank you veterans for making huge sacrifices, leaving your families, traveling far and risking your lives for us and our freedom. I think war is a horrible thing. It's never good to fight in war because it is dangerous and so much is lost. It doesn't matter if you fought in a war or not. You were always willing to be there for us. That's why we remember you and honor you every year and every day.